is a YouTuber me? I'm a weirdo that makes videos alone in my room, and it worked.
All around the world.
She can rap, she can sing, she can dance, she can act.
What if everyone is a girl, superwoman?
I'm gonna take you all on a trip to Unicorn Island with my first ever world tour!
Unicorn Island is that state I reach when I decide everything's gonna be okay. And I'm happy because life is great. Go, go, go from here. Go back, we're gonna pack, we're gonna eat. Then we're gonna get on a flight. That's gonna be our life.
Bangalore, Sydney, Hong Kong, SoCal, check them out! You do not need anyone to be happy besides yourself.
When you make people leave your show feeling better about themselves, that's a wrap.
Happiness is the only thing worth fighting for in your life. 1, 2, 3, unicorn! Oh, I didn't plan for this chair to be this high. No, the dress.
Got it?
I got it.
I can get more steps.
No, we got it. I'm not used to being a girl, I'm sorry.
You can do this. Lilly Singh, ladies and gentlemen, come on now. Oh, man. Lilly. First of all, thank you so much for being here. Congratulations
Thanks for having
on the
me.
film. Oh my God,
Thank
it is
you.
a treat and a half. I got to tell you, there's a ton of stuff we're going to talk about today.
Let's
I want to
do
talk
it.
about the film. We're going to talk about The Rock, of course. We're going to talk
Okay,
about a lot
I
of
could
things.
do that all day. Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
that.
me too. We'll get into it. Trust me. But first, Lilly.
Yes.
You were on the Tonight Show.
Yes.
That is amazing. Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely cheer for that.
Yay!
That is
Thank you.
unbelievable.
Thank you.
I need to know everything about that day. What was the walk-on music?
I'm gonna
Is
tell you
Jimmy's
everything.
hand, tell it all.
I'm
Come
gonna
on.
tell you everything. I woke up wanting to puke. I went to bed wanting to puke. I was so nervous, which is good because being nervous means you're human and you care. That's what I told myself at least. I woke up, I went to the show, and Jimmy, honestly, he is such a wonderful, phenomenal person.
It's good.
He came to my green room before I went on, made me feel so comfortable, was so welcoming, so warm, made references to a lot of my videos, like he actually watched them. I was like, you watched my videos, it's pretty awesome, you're Jimmy Fallon. And it was just such a blast. It was so overwhelming. Even the Roots were so supportive of my trailer as well, and it was just such an overwhelming experience. He's great.
That's amazing. Did they tell you, like, did you go over? You crushed that game, by the way.
Thanks.
Nailed it. Like,
Thanks.
100% across the board.
That wasn't like planned either. That was like on the spot.
Well, you
legitimate,
could tell
yeah.
the dancing was genuine.
Yes.
Like, you were clearly,
Yes,
like, in
it
a
was.
good zone. It's pretty amazing. You're one of, I think I read, you're only the third, like, YouTube person to ever go on the Tonight Show, right?
No pressure,
It's
whatevs.
huge, right? Yeah, no pressure.
No pressure, whatevs.
Well, it's amazing because they say that, but like at the end of the day, YouTube person, but you're a comedian, you're an actor, you're an entertainer. So like,
Yes, I like to say entertainer,
Yeah.
and then I follow that with not a stripper. Because often I say entertainer and right away people assume stripper,
Right,
which I
that
mean
and
like
dancer,
is flattering
right?
also,
Yeah.
but I like to clarify.
I mean, all right. So entertainer, parentheses, not a
Yes,
stripper.
yes.
So that's a landmark moment, regardless of if it's YouTube or whatever. That's a huge deal. So I imagine you're very proud. Your parents are proud. It's like a big day, right? Like
Yes,
Yeah.
my parents stopped being so disappointed in me after that aired. It was great. No, but
That
for
was
real.
the moment, right?
There's
That was it.
always certain milestones where something happens, then a whole gang of people will message you and be so supportive, and Fallon was definitely one of those, where the people I haven't talked to in years were messaging me and just being so supportive, and it was so great to see.
Well, and you bring up something funny. You said like that's not the day your parents were no longer. But
I mean, it might be.
There's this great moment in the movie where your dad is like, when she started, I'm not gonna lie, I was 50-50 supportive, which is still more than most parents, by the way, for the record.
I don't know about that fraction, by the way.
Right. Well, but he gives you this thing. He's like, I'm gonna give you a year. We'll see what happens. When was the moment where he was like, oh, this is something? Because I imagine I want to know too. Was it different from when you realized that like this was something?
Actually, it was almost the same time. It was well into my career. I think it was past 1 million subscribers, maybe even past 2 million subscribers. It was the first time I ever performed in India. And I think it was me just realizing that I'm across the planet and people here know my videos and actually, like the internet legitimately works and this is a real thing. And I think for my parents, having grown up in India, for them it was like, well, our daughter's known in our homeland, yes! And it was like a win all around. And so I think that was the moment where all were like, well, this. I don't have to be a doctor or lawyer, and it's okay. It's gonna be okay.
So he doesn't. There's still not like you're not like coming back from Jimmy. You're not in the green room, and he's like, "That was great. That was great. Still got to get that master's stuff."
You know
like,
what?
that
I
doesn't-
still
like, that
think my
never-
dad might think I'm gonna become a doctor or lawyer till this day. He's just gonna have to get over that a little bit. Actually, right now, my dad is overly supportive of what I do. A little bit too supportive. He goes up to random people and asks if they know Superwoman. And he's like, I'm her dad. And I'm like, Dad, you can't do that.
That's
like
sweet,
he
though.
scares children.
Yeah.
Like he scares children.
But like in a good way. It's a healthy like.
Yeah.
That's how you know you're alive, right?
Yeah.
I wanna go back for a second and talk about like the very very beginning. I've heard you in other interviews talk about why you make these videos, but just for context and for our audience, for those who don't know, that's a great question. I love the answer to this. Exactly why it is you do the videos that you do and that you make.
Firstly, I just got lipstick on the mic, and I'm so sorry.
It's all right. You got another one.
Secondly, I started making videos mostly because I was a sad person. I was in my last year of university, and I had no idea. I'm sure many of you watching and here can relate. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had so much pressure to do what my sister did. You know, she had a master's in psychology, and I didn't want to do that. I was just doing my undergrad and doing it because my sister did it, and I had no idea what made me happy, and I didn't place any importance on figuring that out. And so I went through a really sad period of time, and then I discovered YouTube and thought, I'm just gonna put a video up for fun, and that made me happy. And so once I discovered that made me happy, I kept doing it, and I decided after my undergrad, I'm not gonna do my master's, I'm gonna instead do something that makes me happy. And so I started making YouTube videos.
Which is amazing. And it's probably like the pure, most beautiful place for that to come from.
Thank you.
You are Canadian.
That is right.
So it's in your blood to be that nice,
All
right?
right,
Like that's
yes. Me and Drake like this, we're like this. Yeah, Drake's my boy.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I know.
It's a good boy to have.
I know.
If you're gonna have boys, that's
I'm totally
like
kidding,
You
by
want
the way.
that one. That's. I think you could pull it off.
I mean, he follows me on Instagram, so
One more- that's-
minor detail,
that's,
whatever.
like I'm pretty sure that's all you need. That's
yeah,
official.
that's whatever.
That's the qualification.
That's basically a proposal
That's
in my
it, yeah.
books.
You guys are getting married, I heard.
Pretty
right? You guys
much.
getting married?
I mean, if Dwayne says it's okay.
If
Dwayne
We're gonna
says-
get to Dwayne.
Okay.
We're-
You see how
we're
I
gonna-
keep trying to put him in there? I'm
No,
like-
and believe me, I have what some would call an irrational man crush on Dwayne the Rock
And that's
Johnson.
okay.
There's nothing irrational
I think
about it. I think he's
everyone
amazing.
should. Everyone, we'll get to it.
You
We'll
know
get
what?
to it.
Maybe I don't know. We're gonna get to it. Let's put it
Okay,
aside. It's
okay.
like the cherry on top of the sundae. We're gonna get there. So, but okay. So you're doing these videos to make everybody happy, and you've clearly done that. I mean, a billion plus views, which that's a real number, by the way. Yeah. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Thank you.
So you've obviously made a lot of people happy. You were saying, were your sisters? Was that like? I know your father. Okay, he's on board. The whole family on board? Are they? How do they feel about?
Now the
this
whole
rise?
family's on board. Of course, when I started, it's not that my parents were unsupportive. My parents are the best humans in the entire world. But they just didn't understand it. Like, if I was a parent and my daughter came up to me and said, I'm gonna make YouTube videos, I would be like, go to your room, shut the hell up. But I mean, it's scary. They don't understand it. A lot of people still don't understand it. And it was just a learning process. And now they get it. They've been to my shows. They came to some parts of my tour. They've seen parts of the movie, and they get it now. And they're very supportive.
That's amazing. I as we were saying just a second ago, the billion views. One of the things I wanted to ask you. So you set out to make people happy. I can't imagine you had any sense of the scale at which, or did you? Because you are Superwoman, right? No. So I was fascinated. I was wondering, did you? So you didn't know it was going to be this big. Now you're here and you see how big it is. How do you feel like this is there a responsibility you feel, right? Because like you're an inspiration to so many people, and I wonder if that's anything like you expected it, or how that's going, and what that experience has been like for you, and just how that goes.
I think I decided a long time ago that the biggest responsibility I have is to be true to myself and authentic to who I am. So I tell myself that I will never do anything to appear to be a role model. I'm going to be myself. And if people would like to call me their role model, that's their choice. But a good example is I don't swear in my videos. I mean, all my friends swear. They swear all the time. I just don't swear in real life. It's not a facade I'm putting on because I want to be a role model. I'm just being myself, because that's what I encourage my audience to do. I say, whoever you are, embrace it, be yourself, and love that person. That's just what I'm doing.
Well, there's a moment I love when it's from the show, and you're doing the inspirational sort of like you're on the stool, and you're telling everybody, I'm never going to be the person that says, just dream it, and it'll come true. And you tell everybody, you got to work for it. You got to get out there and do that. Is that from like, does your family have like a strong work ethic? Was that something you always knew, or was it just because like, I have a year to do this, I'm going to work hard, and then you saw, oh, this works?
I think all immigrant families have to be super hardworking. My parents are very, very hardworking. Yes, I definitely get it from them, but even my mom sometimes tells me, she's like, you need to slow down. You're gonna pass out. I am definitely a workaholic. an example is I landed from Trinidad to LA, and then a few hours later packed and went to New York and landed here with I'm on like 3 hours of sleep for 2 days. Whatever, cash, makeup, hair, it's cool. They make it happen. But yeah, no, I definitely put all of my effort into it because I love to do it. Yeah. I'm in a very wonderful, privileged, grateful position, and I want to give it the effort and energy it deserves.
Yeah,
that's
for
simple
sure.
as that.
Yeah, there's another great moment where you can see all that energy. Like you're right about to go out on stage, and you're like vibrating.
Oh, I'm a huge weirdo before I get on stage. Like a massive weirdo.
Though. It's
I
so
like
cool.
pace back and forth. I just am beating my chest. I'm like weird.
Yeah.
Super weird.
Yeah, but weird in a great way.
I mean, okay. But I get weird, man. I'm like talking to myself. I'm talking to the stage. I'm like having conversations with the stage. I get weird.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people will agree it's a good kind of weird. There's nothing wrong with it. Yeah,
I'm
it's
okay with that.
Yeah, fair enough. There we go. Okay, we put it off long enough.
Yes.
We've got to talk about it. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yes!
Oh my God.
Yes! Hubby!
So, how did that come about? When did your love affair with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson first begin? When did you acknowledge him for the Samoan Adonis that he is? When were you like, I love this guy, I got to talk to him? Like, what is it about him?
September 26, 1988, I was born.
Yeah.
And
It was a
from
good
that
day.
moment, I knew. Honestly, growing up, I was obsessed with wrestling. And back when it was like WWF, if anyone knows what I'm talking about, that's what's up. Like now it's WWE. I'm like, all right, that's cute and stuff, but I'm talking like WWF days. I was obsessed with The Rock, and his pictures would be all over my wall. And when I started, years later, started Superwoman, I'd make references to him in my videos sometimes, not knowing that his daughter watches my videos. And so
Amazing.
One day I was live tweeting the MTV Movie Awards. It's a very cool story, actually. I might be biased, but I think it's super cool. I was live tweeting the MTV Movie Awards, and I just casually tweeted, hey, saw The Rock on TV. My night is done. And he replied saying, good night, Superwoman. I cried, I died, I collapsed. I spontaneously, like Harry Potter was like Expelliarmus because I disappeared. I was like gone. I was gone. And then fast forward exactly 1 year, I'm talking 365 days exact, it was the MTV Movie Awards again, and I had the privilege of attending. I knew he was gonna be there, and by that time we had tweeted a few times, and he gave me his number, whatever, casual. So I texted him saying, hey, I'd love to finally meet you today. He orchestrated this huge meeting. I finally met him, he recorded the whole thing, and I asked him all about it, and he said, yeah, that day I randomly tweeted you, my daughter was like, do you know who you tweeted? And so she showed him all my videos, and we connected exactly 1 year after he tweeted me.
Well, yeah.
September 26, 1988, I was born.
Yeah.
And
It was a
from
good
that
day.
moment, I knew. Honestly, growing up, I was obsessed with wrestling. And back when it was like WWF, if anyone knows what I'm talking about, that's what's up. Like now it's WWE. I'm like, all right, that's cute and stuff, but I'm talking like WWF days. I was obsessed with The Rock, and his pictures would be all over my wall. And when I started, years later, started Superwoman, I'd make references to him in my videos sometimes, not knowing that his daughter watches my videos. And so
Amazing.
One day I was live tweeting the MTV Movie Awards. It's a very cool story, actually. I might be biased, but I think it's super cool. I was live tweeting the MTV Movie Awards, and I just casually tweeted, hey, saw The Rock on TV. My night is done. And he replied saying, good night, Superwoman. I cried, I died, I collapsed. I spontaneously, like Harry Potter was like Expelliarmus because I disappeared. I was like gone. I was gone. And then fast forward exactly 1 year, I'm talking 365 days exact, it was the MTV Movie Awards again, and I had the privilege of attending. I knew he was gonna be there, and by that time we had tweeted a few times, and he gave me his number, whatever, casual. So I texted him saying, hey, I'd love to finally meet you today. He orchestrated this huge meeting. I finally met him, he recorded the whole thing, and I asked him all about it, and he said, yeah, that day I randomly tweeted you, my daughter was like, do you know who you tweeted? And so she showed him all my videos, and we connected exactly 1 year after he tweeted me.
Well, yeah, he's got like a really sweet part in the film. Not to give anything away, but he just says like some really nice things, and it's really cool. And I just thought, man, what an amazing experience, because it's one of those things where you get to meet your hero, and I imagine he's the guy that kind of lives up to that image you built in your head, because they tell you shouldn't, because you never know. But like,
I was gonna say, they always say you
he's a
shouldn't
safe
meet
bet.
your heroes, but he is so above and beyond anything I would have expected. He continuously is so supportive. Before I went on tour, he sent me this massive text, like longer text than any of my ex-boyfriends, like long text.
Yeah.
And it was just so full of support of like, this is the advice I can give you, and this is just all the things I hope for you, and it was just beautiful. He's just wonderful.
I don't want to put you on the spot, because you do reference that text in the movie. I'm like, I want to see it. Give one line. Can you remember one line that like from that text that resonates with you?
Yeah.
Come on.
It was like,
Diggy, you got this.
Hey baby, thinking about you. No, he just honestly gave me some really good advice and said, make sure when you're on the road, you take care of yourself because no one's going to take care of you the way you can take care of you.
Yeah.
And that was some of the best advice I could have used on the road because I was like near death with some of those tour stops, and I always remembered his words.
No, for sure.
And then he ended it with sexy. Kiss emoji.
So the film, of course, we haven't said the title yet, but Trip to Unicorn Island is an amazing documentary. I was curious about, as someone who's making films almost every day, who's making videos and posting them all the time, when did you decide, like, oh, this should be a documentary? And like, was there like a distinction between like filming for the documentary, filming for your YouTube channel and everyday life? Like, how did you create that division, and how did that kind of work out?
Yeah, I mean, every Monday and Thursday I record my own videos. So I shoot them, I write them, I edit them, I release them, I do everything myself. And then I had this experience where I went on tour and had a film crew following me. And the control freak in me was like, no, like, what are you shooting? Why are you shooting it like that? Like, why are you getting my, like, this angle and that angle? And it was a hard challenge to let that go. And so now we have a feature-length piece here that is not created by me. Of course, it has my touch on it, but it's not created by me. I think that's beautiful because you get to see something from a different angle that you wouldn't see in my videos and my everyday vlogs.
Sure.
Yeah.
We're going to go to audience in just a second, so make sure you get those questions bubbling because we're going to turn it over. But a few more questions about the film. What was your reaction and your parents' reaction kind of the first time you guys sat down and saw it and like watched it?
Well, actually, my parents haven't seen the whole thing.
What?
Yeah. After they see it, I might get in trouble.
I think they're great. If anything, I was like, I want more of the parents.
Oh,
like,
yeah, they're great. My parents
my
parents are so much funnier than me. But yeah, the first time, I've seen 3 versions of it, and each and every single time I've cried. The first time I watched it was on a plane. I cried on the plane. It was like traumatizing. It was emotional. It was exciting. It was everything. I honestly, and I'm not even saying this because it's my movie, I'm being really honest, I think it's really good. Reason being, thanks, man. Reason being, it's a story that, like, even if you've never seen my videos and you have no idea who I am, it's the story of deciding to be happy and working for that. And I feel like that's something we can all relate to at some point of our life. And I think it's so beautiful in that way.
Yeah, and that's why I keep saying like it's so good, because it's more than just like, here's all the things that happened while I traveled the world. There's like a really great story and a great message, and you get to kind of watch you sort of grow through this experience of like being a part of this world tour, which there are some real moments in this thing too.
Yeah, there's some real moments, and there's some moments that are so emotional and real, and I should just let you know that was day 2 of shooting. Yeah, so it like got real. I mean, 2.5 months, 31 shows, 27 cities.
Amazing.
It takes a toll emotionally, physically, mentally.
Well, I gotta say,
Sure.
a true testament to your work ethic. You just said you were watching on the plane. You realize that's like one of the few moments you have to sleep.
I know.
And you're
but
watching
I had
your
to do
movie.
work, and I had to do work because they're like, we need this is how people will send me emails. Sending you this email, need feedback in 1 hour. I'm like, the movie's an hour and a half. Like, what do you, I don't understand. Like, those are my timelines, those are my turnarounds, but I would have it no other way, so it's fine.
Last question
Yes.
before we throw it over, and I don't know if you can answer this or not, but the world tour's done. You're just doing the press now for the film. Obviously, you're very tired. So it's probably the last thing you want to hear, but are we going to get another tour at some point? Are you gonna go back out there?
I mean, yes, right now. I'm leaving right now.
Right now, this is it.
I love performing live. I mean, I love making videos on YouTube. It's one of my favorite things to do, but I also love being in front of people live like this. I can see all these pretty faces and things, and it's very exciting to me. So I think definitely I would go on another tour, but as of right now, I think if you want to see me on tour, this movie,
For sure.
February 10th, YouTube Red, that's where you can see it.
Awesome. Guys, we're going to turn it over to you. Raise your hands. We'll get a microphone on over.
Hey, Lily.
Hi.
I just want to say, me and my friend love your videos so
Thanks
much.
so much. What are your names?
My name is Sydney, and her name is Monal.
Hi.
Yeah. Hey, and I want to say, who are your favorite YouTubers and why?
Oh, good question. I have a lot of favorite YouTubers. One of the YouTubers that inspired me to start was Jenna Marbles. I think she's phenomenal, and I think hers is one of the first videos I ever saw, and I was like, oh my God, what is this? I also love Grace Helbig. I love her so much. I think Miranda Sings is not only my wife, but I think she's hilarious. Kingsley, okay. I also love Lindsay Sterling. I've ranted about her many times in my vlogs. I think she's phenomenally talented.
She's amazing, yeah.
Phenomenally talented. Yeah. And all my other friends that I didn't mention, I'm so sorry. You.
Is there I'm sorry guys, is there a YouTuber that you haven't collaborated yet that you're like dying to collaborate with?
You know what? I have collaborated comedically with Lindsay, but I would love to collaborate with her musically, which is something we're going to discuss because I rap and she's like master of all things music.
Yeah.
So I would love to do that collaboration.
Very cool. Okay, sorry, back to you guys.
Rad hair, first of all. Let's just get that out of the way.
Thank you. Hi, Lily. So
Hi.
my name is Chrissy. I want to tell you, you're like really, really amazing, and you're my motivation. So I want to know what motivates you to do what you do every day.
Well, compliments like that. I'm gonna think about this for a second because I want to answer truthfully and not just give you like a BS answer like my parents, although that's true. What motivates me? To be honest, I, like a lot of people here I'm sure can relate, I know what it feels like to feel really worthless and bad and sad, and my motivation is to make sure I don't ever allow myself to feel like that again, and it's to make sure that I feel and decide to be happy. That's all. So people always ask me, what are your goals 5 years from now? And my answer is always happiness. That's the most important thing to me.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, thanks. I know, Tumblr AF, right? Right here.
We've got time for about 2 more questions out there.
Yes.
Hi, Lily.
Hi.
I'm fangirling so hard right now.
Oh my God, same girl.
I just wanted to know how you ended up collabing with Selena Gomez, and are you guys actually like friends?
Oh
Do you,
my
like,
God, ask me
text?
more. Well, I just like Dwayne. Dwayne is my ultimate man crush of all time. My ultimate girl crush is Selena Gomez. And I knew her album was coming out, and I would have supported it regardless, but I reached out to a record label saying, I'd love to shoot a video with her to help support her album, mostly to meet her and fangirl and hug her, and I met her, and she was just like Dwayne, phenomenal. So unapologetically herself, so kind, so welcoming. It's so funny when you think of traditional celebrities, you think, oh, they're gonna be really done up and untouchable and unattainable. I bought her Cheetos because I know she loves Cheetos, and right then and there she opened them. She's like, yo, pop this open. She started eating Cheetos with me like she didn't give an F, and she was just so cool. We're friends to the extent where she invited me to come to her shows on tour, and I'm just hoping I get to go backstage and then pretend not to fangirl all over again. Yeah, exactly.
And one more.
Thank you for being here. I'm curious
thank you
if you
for being
could
here.
tell me about the most challenging part about this process, if it was taking it from the small scale, just like a YouTube video, to increasing viewers, to a world tour and a documentary, or if it was something else that was more difficult.
On this whole journey, the most difficult thing, I think one of the most difficult things is that what I'm doing is kind of really new. And so it's difficult to look back at a lot of people and think, what did they do and how did they figure this out? Sometimes I get deals and opportunities thrown my way, and I have no idea what to do with them. I mean, like I said, I have a psychology degree. I know about Freud, kind of. Like, that's like, you know what I mean? Like, and then I'm put in this situation where suddenly I have a business of my own, and I'm a CEO, and I have a team, and I have to hire people. I'm just like, I have to interview people for like job positions. I'm like, well, I don't know. Can you beat me at Flip Cup? If you can, you're hired. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in the situation where I have to learn. I did that once for an interview. Yeah. But yeah, I'm in the situation where I have to learn all these things so rapidly, and I'm placed in uncomfortable positions all the time. And I think that's one of the most challenging and most rewarding parts of what I do.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much. Thank Lilly for being here real quick.
Thank you for being here.
The film, A Trip to Unicorn Island, when and where do they see it?
You can see A Trip to Unicorn Island on February 10th on YouTube Red.
You should do this professionally. That's beautiful. Lilly Singh, everybody. Come on now.